Furia played against NRG. We PlatChat guaranteed that Furia were not going to win this game. This is the third time.
Why did you guys do that?
Oh, because we're stupid. Because we are stupid. Yeah, this is the third time that we've guaranteed against Furia, and they've won every time. They are undefeated in Americas.
I think you just have to keep doing it then. I mean, they're gonna keep winning, so.
Yeah, there's no shot that
they looked insane. They looked like the best team. They looked like the best team.
They really did, I think. I mean, I was glazing their post-plant play. Post-plant and retake stuff on the cast. Like, they just outplayed NRG in all of those spots.
Yeah, I think I had a clip actually from the post-plant. So I think it was like 4 in a row they won on Pearl. And then there was one specifically, one that was like a 5v5 where like it kind of highlights how, like, you see, like, so there's a retake Killjoy ult coming in, immediately Killjoy ult back, and so obviously they have to like run away back long, but then they just knew instinctively to then use the Astra ult to scale back into the site very quickly, and then just the decision to have the certain agents going forward and the certain agents who are back in like split seconds. Like, some of this is in like the Neon shouldn't be running through like an idiot there, but like in terms of like fundamental understanding of a post plant for a team that's not supposed to be having the depth they do. Like, this is a 4v2, it looks bad maybe, but like they've got the Astra and Killjoy here who are basically win the round. Astra smokes themselves off and just plays like a Sunset B long, B main kind of post plant here where they just spam through smokes. Like, all the decision making felt like it's like a mix. I think a post plant is a mixture of protocols and individual decision making, and I felt like it highlighted how both of those things are working for Furia right now.
Yeah, I think they had such a nice mix of aggression as well. On Split, they're playing a composition that on paper looks very defensive. They're running the Viper Vice stuff. And yet they're throwing in a lot of aggressive looks with it too. They had a set play where they ran fully down mid into market and then deeper into spawn. Like, this team is cooking, bro.
I thought that round highlighted how NRG really don't like playing against double duelists, in my opinion. Like, I think that, like, if you can't see the writings on the wall, like, they knew that push was happening, like, a few seconds before it happened, and they still died to it.
I'm not sure do you think they did? Because I thought they assumed they'd escaped it by backing all the way out of Ramen. You know what I mean?
Sure, but you know a Neon is about 5 meters away from you.
Sure, yeah.
You know what I mean? Even though it's behind the wall, like, you know they're there. Like, I think that, like, it's not the most... sometimes on broadcast, I'm trying to find examples of, like, the most obvious way to highlight the thing. So it's like, obviously, as a coach, like, I don't think this actually highlights how they struggle against double duelists. Like, it's more macro and stuff. But I think in that micro way, them dying to that push after knowing it has happened kind of does that job for you a little bit in a way that, like, the viewer understands. So, like, I think that was, I still think that highlights that the aggressive double duelist stuff, they just don't love to play against sometimes. Yeah, it's a problem in general.
The NRG comms as well, they were saying that Koala was the greatest player in the world after one of these rounds where he gets into, I mean, he's like,
he's worming around an elbow, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he was. I think in that round he'd like TP'd into the heaven smoke and was just owning them. But I mean, he was just doing essentially whatever he wanted against them. But like another 5v5 post plant that they win here again.
Yeah, I thought with Furia's like compositional approach, like, again, it didn't lean into some of the stuff I expected to be win conditions.
I don't understand the split comp. I mean, I feel like the comp before just made sense.
From NRG or for Furia?
NRG.
It's just the deadlock for Vice?
It was they were playing Neon and they were playing they had Matt on Neon and Ethan on Sky. And I think everything else was around the same. I mean, obviously the deadlock was
another deadlock as well. Broke was playing Vice at some point, but I can't remember if that was on this map.
I think he was on this one. Let me check. I'll just check.
But yeah, Bonkar said that it was from Som's chat, jokingly. But I think people are thinking about the deadlock, but I don't know. They got crushed. They played way too much.
They ran Neon Vice before instead of the raised deadlock. So the way I see it is like they've shown the kind of that style a lot before, and they just wanted the little bit of like, you know, raise and deadlock technically should combo well together. So they've just added a little bit of spice around it. I think ultimately though, the deadlock just isn't as good as the Vice right now. Is probably the takeaway. Yeah. It's very interesting that America's breed on split right now is going very much towards trying to counter double duelist with like the Vice and the Deadlock rather than play the double duelist. So that's an interesting, and it's also showing the 9-3 defense side going into like an 8-4 or whatever.